Alright, what's up boys? I just want to make this really quick video on shiny object syndrome, as the title suggests, because it is keeping so many of you guys in the online business space, online coaching space, agency space from making any progress whatsoever. And I just want to show you guys sort of why it happens and then how you can actually overcome it. It's going to be really short and to the point and hopefully very, very valuable for you guys. So let's just get straight into it. So there's a huge problem that I'm seeing right now in the online coaching space and agency space. And that is the fact that nowadays everybody is selling you one magical tactic that is said to single-handedly make you a millionaire, fix all your problems, and cure cancer while it's there. And like that doesn't surprise me because it works. That is marketing. Okay, that's just what people are going to do because that is what sells. But the reality is that that is complete bullshit. And I want to explain why, and also the dangers that stem from this trend, and then ultimately how you can, work around this, right? So first of all, let's start by acknowledging what is happening in the market right now. So what is happening is that almost everybody is heavily pushing a specific tactic, right? So whether it's Instagram follower ad funnels, Instagram DM ads, VSL ads, freaking organic content, outbound DMs, whatever it is, or AI or whatever, everybody has their one thing that is they're positioning as the secret to all of your problems, right? And that is a problem, right? Whether it's a secret funnel, as I said, new outreach AI, even like I've seen people promote like secret Instagram posting schedules as one of the main selling points of their offer. Like, what is that, right? And the crazy part is that a lot of these people get client results, right? But they all use different tactics. So how can they all get results since their tactic is the only one that works? Okay, and that means that the reason that these people are getting results is not because of the tactic. Okay, if people are getting results using different tactics, that means that the secret is in the tactic, right? The secret, which is it isn't even a secret. It's in the principles. It's in the principles behind the choices that you make in the acquisition channels, in the steps that you decide to take to scale. Okay, and that is what so many people in the space fail to realize, right? That there's no secret tactic that is coming to save you. Okay, the secret lies in the principles behind the decisions that you make in your business. If you make the right decisions at the right level that you are currently at, you will scale. There's different things that you got to focus on for each level, which I'm going to go over in a second. This is this concept I call the points of leverage. But basically, there's no one secret tactic that's going to save your business. If you don't have every aspect dialed in, then a tactic will not change anything for you. Okay, if you're missing different bits and pieces of the puzzle. So that is what I want you guys to take away from this video, okay? And now, how do we actually overcome this? How do you choose the right tactic for your business, okay? How do you actually focus on principles instead of falling victim to the shiny new tactic that is in reality just taking away attention from the thing that you were doing before that freaking works, okay? So basically, the tactic or acquisition channel in this case that you should choose depends on a couple different things, okay? What are your unique points of leverage, which I want to talk about in a second? What niche are you in? How do you want to run your business? And do you have capital that you are willing to invest in ads? And you can ask many more similar questions, but these are sort of the main four that I want to focus on and that I think matter. Okay, so the first one is, what are your unique points of leverage? Okay, so basically, like what you're going to want to look at is you're going to want to look at your current revenue, your expertise, your story, your case studies, your relevant content assets. And by relevant, I mean that relate to the thing that you're selling and relate to how you're positioning yourself in the market, that are actually helping you sell and convert attention into money. And then audience, if you have an audience. Okay. And then from there, basically from your like expertise, from your story, from your case studies, from there, you can decide for your niche. From your niche, you're going to choose what to offer the people. Okay. You never want to create your offer before deciding who you're going to sell it to. That's complete bullshit. You want to solve a problem for a person. You can't create a problem and then go and try to sell it to a person. Okay, so first we create the niche, then we create the offer and we position the offer so it resonates with that niche. And then from there, also from these different points of leverage that you have, we choose your acquisition model. Okay, and it's the failure to understand this concept that I see so many coaches jumping from tactic to tactic and like never seeing any results in the first place. So, for example, let's say your current revenue is you're doing $1 million a month. You have insane expertise. You have a story that resonates with salespeople. You have crazy case studies. You have a bunch of content assets, and you have a crazy audience. Who I described is Cole Gordon. You guys can go check him out after this video if you don't know who he is. Okay, I mean he's making more than $1 million a month, but basically, let's assume you're making really good money, and you have all these traits that I just mentioned. His acquisition model wouldn't be the crazy new AI outreach system that people are pushing. that wouldn't make any sense. Okay, his model is going to be VSL ads and basically positioning himself as the god of sales and building his personal brand so that he is literally like, people think sales, they think Cole Gordon. That is the play for him, okay, because of where he's at with his different points of leverage. Whereas, let's say you, if your current revenue is like 1K per month, your expertise isn't that great, okay, and you don't have any case studies to back it up because you're just like starting off in the game, you don't have that much relevant content assets, and you don't have an audience, then the play for you is going to be outbound, inevitably, right? Because like, what else are you going to do? You got to do some outbound, get some case studies, and then once you have case studies, also building up relevant content assets while you're there, then you can transition into something more scalable, okay? So outbound is going to be the play for you, right? Whereas if you're somewhere in between, let's say you're at like 5 to 10K per month, your freaking case studies, you have a couple of case studies, you have some relevant content assets, but you're still tinkering around with your messaging, and like the audience, I guess theoretically doesn't really matter here, but obviously it would help if you had it. Then the play for you is going to be something like either follower ads, which I like, one of my clients is doing really well with them, or some like DM ads. Another one of my clients is doing really well with them. At around that level, right, the 5 to 10K per month level, let's say. And the reason for that is because you have case studies, so you can transition to something more scalable, into inbound, into ads. However, you don't have that many relevant content assets. You just have a couple of case studies, and your messaging isn't disgustingly dialed. And since your messaging isn't disgustingly dialed, we don't want to go for the VSL ads quite yet, okay? Because VSL ads, they're hyper scalable, right? But they're very hard to crack, and they're pretty dang expensive too, right? So it makes sense for somebody like Cole Gordon. He would be wasting his time if he ran follower ads. But for you, it's not necessarily the play to go for VSL funnels and VSL ads, okay? So like, this is what keeps so many coaches jumping from tactic to tactic, is that every tactic will work, but it will work at a different level of where you're currently at in your business. And it will work assuming that you have the basic principles in place, okay? That you have your niche dialed in, that you have your offer dialed in, and that you're positioned correctly. Because if you are reselling something that somebody else is selling, which I'm seeing so many people resell now, so many people are reselling the tactic that they bought from somebody else. If you're doing that, you're saying the exact same stuff as everybody else, and you're not positioning yourself as different and unique in any way, shape, or form, then also your points of leverage, like the relevant content assets, point of leverage goes down to literally zero, and ads don't make any sense for you anymore because you have no messaging. Even if you have case studies, if you have no messaging, ads won't make any sense for you. You got to figure out your messaging, and the play for you is going to be to figure out your niche, your offer, and then launch the acquisition model, okay? And is this the graph here that I created that so many people fail to understand? And I hope I explained it well here, okay? Because I can guarantee that if you position yourself differently to the rest of the market, you create a blue ocean for yourself, so you have no competition, you're the number one expert that people go to when they hear a certain word. For example, if you own a word in the prospect's mind, that's hella powerful. If you choose the right acquisition channel based on your points of leverage, and you put in the inputs that you need to get the outputs you want, so you actually spend the ad spend, or you send the DMs, or you take the sales calls or the cold calls, you make the content, and you give the tactic enough time, it will be inevitable for you to grow. And I think that this trend of promoting tactics over principles is really, really hurting people. Okay, I know people that give a tactic like 3 to 4 days, they're actually getting solid results for it, for the time frame. However, they see a new shiny tactic and they want to try something else. And like, nothing is going to work if you don't give it the time that it needs. Okay? And they keep tactic hopping without solving the actual constraints holding their business back, like their offer, like their positioning, and like not collecting any data. And I think that this is the reason why in most like coaching programs, that's also a part of it, only 20% of people get results, right? Like, one, it's because it's coaching and some people just won't put in the work if it's coaching. And more importantly, the tactic that is sold doesn't solve these real constraints that a business has, okay? Because you can plug in an acquisition channel, but if you skip all of this shit that I just went through, if you skip all of this and you just go straight to this, then you won't scale. And I believe this because I genuinely have not had a client yet that followed these instructions, okay? And by these instructions, I mean position yourself differently to the rest of the market, which we help people do. We choose our acquisition channel, which we also help our clients do. And put in the inputs that you need to get the outputs you want. So actually gave the tactic enough time, spend the ad spend, send the DMs, made the content. So actually put in the inputs that you need for a tactic to work, I have not had a client that followed these instructions and didn't see results. Okay, because focusing on principles actually solves all the bottlenecks someone may face while they're trying to scale. Well, focusing on a single tactic does not do that. Okay, you just skip out on all the principles that running a business requires, and you just make people believe that there's a shiny new tactic that can sort of skip over and shortcut all those other principles. Like, it doesn't work that way, right? So right now, if you're hopping from tactic to tactic, ask yourself these questions. Right, so ask yourself, are you positioning yourself differently from the rest of the market? Are you in a blue ocean? Do you have competition? Or are you reselling something that everybody else is selling? Are you just like everybody else? Choose the right acquisition channel based on your points of leverage. Have you ever taken this into account? Or are you just trying to copy Cole Gordon while sitting at 2K per month and trying to run VSL funnels? Okay. And did you put in the inputs that you need? So are you running VSL funnels? You spent $20, didn't get results, and now we're like, oh, VSL funnels don't work. So yeah, because if you aren't getting results right now, then the answer to at least one of those questions that I just asked is no. And I can guarantee you that, okay? Because if the answer to all these 3 questions was yes, potentially you can even add the question of, am I selling something that people actually want? If the answer to all these questions is yes, then you will scale. If you're not scaling, that means the answer to one of these is no, and you got to figure out which one it is, and you got to fix it. Okay. So yeah, I mean, that is it for this video. It was a really, really quick one, but I really wanted to bang this one out because I'm seeing a lot of people affected by this. And if you're watching this and you're literally not scaling, then the answer is here in this video, in these questions. Okay. So if you guys found value, then subscribe. Trying to grow the channel to something, giving away game that you won't find anywhere else soon. I am building a lot of stuff behind the scenes that I'm launching very, very soon. I'm very excited for it. And yeah, subscribe to this channel for more value. Go through some of my previous videos. I'll link one up here that you can watch. If you want to learn how we actually do like literally all of this for our clients and more, then shoot me a DM on Instagram. You can say scale, you can say whatever protocol, doesn't really matter. A protocol is what I'm actually coming up with right now behind the scenes. But yeah, basically DM me back on Instagram. We can have a more deeper conversation on this. Subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video very soon.